Bismillah, Bismillah, wa salat wa salam ala Rasulillahi Kareem. Alhamdulillah. Uh, the third installment, this is dealing with the phrases. As I said before, most of the people are teaching you to attempt to learn to memorize Al-Fatiha without letting you learn the language, without letting you learn the alphabet, and there are several letters and pronunciation of words, which is extremely important. Uh, you know, this is a minor fact for many people. They pay very little attention to it, and because you are a new Muslim, they try not to put too much emphasis and on the correct pronunciation, and let a lot of people slide. So much to the point that despite the very bad pronunciation that person has, people of knowledge will, let that slide to the point that person actually believes that they are saying it correctly. And what happens is they wind up making a habit of saying that so incorrectly for so long. When someone comes along, when they even begin to learn how to read the Arabic language, and then someone puts more emphasis on the correct pronunciation, or they, get with someone later on, after they have been doing it wrong for so long, it becomes that much more difficult, twice as hard for them to correct it. So I, who have wound up trying to teach a lot of those people who have had that situation, have learned that it is much, much better to emphasize these things and put a little bit more consideration and effort into it in the beginning, the first time you learn it. That's one of the reasons why I also don't begin trying to teach Fatiha, as all the other books and general programs would begin to start teaching you, because Fatiha is a major component. It's such a major component of the prayer that for you to say it so incorrectly is futile. Better, as the great scholars have said from the past, learn to pray with the tasbih, the praise and glorification of Allah. And you can do that with just 3 phrases. Okay? Start with 3. Learn those 3 phrases and build upon it. In my new Muslim class, I actually teach 10 phrases and go over the pronunciation of all 10, because they have other various usages throughout your daily life that will help inculcate Islam in you, rather than just you being in Islam. All right? But we'll come to that later on. Right now, I just want you to learn the 3 phrases. First one, you heard many times, but we're going to get it. Allahu Akbar. Inshallah, later I will probably add, my transliteration just to help with that on these videos as well, because in the beginning a couple of things can help with a little bit of transliteration, but I usually write and spell these things a little bit differently than what you would generally see, because I do it a little bit more according to actually how they are pronounced, and not with the standard, the way most people just copy the way it has been for a long time. Anyway, Allahu Akbar. Very easy. Allahu Akbar. Alright? It's the first phrase, which means Allah, the Creator, the Almighty, is the greatest. Is greater than anything, everything, all. second phrase, which is very, very important, and one that too many people make mistake in the pronunciation because it has a very unique letter and sound in it. Okay? And this is the direct, which means glorified, glorification, or perfection is Allah. Glorified be Allah. And say after me, Sub, and I want you to emphasize that B sound at the end as we stop. Sub, not sub, not sub. Sub, hanallah. The ha is actually the name of a letter, ha, okay? And it has to have that kind of air sound. I say you should feel it before you hear it, okay? If you put your hand in front of your face, blow your breath as if you're going to clean your glasses, okay? Or fog the mirror. But then push the sound out. Many people make a mistake and they try to do both at the same time. They do this, okay? That's incorrect. It should actually take about 2 seconds. I say feel it before you hear it. So you feel first the air. Ha. Ha. Here. Ha. Ha. That's the letter itself. The letter is ha. 2 H sounds in the Arabic language. You have ha and you have ha. 2 different, completely different. One, changing one letter, as in English, will change the meaning of the word. Okay? Just like in English, if I say T-A-K-E and F-A-K-E, all I did was change one letter. Totally different meaning. Okay? In Arabic, it's the same. Ha is one letter. Ha is another letter. Change that letter, and you change entirely the meaning of the word. Okay? Of course, you're a new Muslim and don't know. So if you make a mistake, Allah is forgiving and merciful. What's most important is that you make the effort to try to get it the right way. Even if you make an effort and you get it wrong, Allah is forgiving and merciful, and He's going to give you. But if you become lazy, as some people, and give up, say, I can't do that, or that's not me, it's not my language, it doesn't matter, then you're in trouble. Then you have an issue. Okay? So it's better that you actually make the effort. Keep trying. Even if you don't get it right the first time and you don't get it right, but you keep trying, eventually you'll get it. Just like when you learn how to ride a bike, just like when you learned how to swim, just like when you learn how to hit the ball or catch the ball. You know, first few times, you dropped it. You didn't make it. But you kept doing it and eventually you got it. Okay? So, the word is Subhanallah. Sub, and it's very important, emphasize that B sound at the end. Don't just say sub. No. The problem where many people make a mistake, they wind up, because the emphasis is on that B sound, many people who don't learn it correctly, they think it's a P sound. And there's absolutely no P sound in the Arabic language. So they wind up saying Subhanallah. And there's no P sound in the Arabic language. So as I like to say, there's no such animal. Okay? So it's Subhanallah. Subhanallah. 3 parts. Subhanallah. Okay? This you want to say in all of the positions. Before, in the previous video, I taught you the 7 positions of prayer. Okay? The last phrase, and I'm going to come back to that. The last phrase is what you hear all the time the Muslims saying. Assalamu alaikum. Not salam alaikum. Okay? Assalamu. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Those are the three phrases. Allahu Akbar, starting your prayer. This you enter into the prayer. Allahu Akbar. Placing the right hand over top of the left hand. This will be, you will see different people praying in different ways. I forgot to mention this in the previous video. Most people teach, however they teach, that is the correct way and everything else is wrong. And that is a real serious problem and misnomer. There are some legitimate differences in Islam. This you will learn as time goes forward. Not every difference that somebody proclaims is correct is necessarily correct. However, there are some legitimate differences. So you will see some people with their hands praying with their hands up on the chest, on the middle part of the chest. You'll see some people praying with their hands down a little bit lower on their below or slightly above their belly button. You may even see some people praying with their hands down to the side. You may see some with their hands slightly over this way. Okay? And everyone and most books and most teachers will tell you, however they teach you, no, ignore all of that. They're all wrong and do it the way I teach. Whatever way that particular way is. Okay? But that's not correct. Because there are some legitimate Quran and Sunnah evidence and dalil for those differences. Many people won't teach you that. They won't tell you that. But that's the fact. That's the reality. Okay? I teach with your hand on your chest. Here. Okay? Right back. Not way up here. Struggling yourself. And not way down below. Relaxed. Here. Right about where the solar plex is. It's your hand. Right hand. This is my right. Though you're looking at it from the other angle. But this is my right hand. Trust me. Over top of the left hand. Okay? Your eyes immediately after making the takbir, saying Allahu Akbar, raise your hand. You will see people also raising their hands differently. Some put their hands close by their ears here. Some like this. Some like this. Okay? All has some legitimate differences. Okay? Easy. I'm going to show you standing straight, your hands on your legs, touching your knees, your thighs, way out to your side. Raise your hands straight up. Bend from the elbow. If you were going the other way and you were doing a curl, right, but only this way. Palms up. Hands straight down, palms straight up. Not way out here, not way in here, okay? Just naturally as your shoulder. Same thing when you stand. Shoulder distance apart, not your legs stretched out like an A-frame, standing. Stand straight up, hand, Allahu Akbar. So now your hand is close at the same level about your ears and about your shoulder, okay? Right hand here. You say, after Allahu Akbar, all while you are standing, Subhanallah. It's good to say it 10 times or 15 times, but there is no specific number because this is just a temporary way of learning to pray until you learn properly the words and verses of the Quran. Okay? It's important to know this is a temporary, acceptable for the new Muslim way to pray. So you say, Subhanallah, 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 any number of times until you go to ruku. You go to the bowing position. You say, raise your hands again, say Allahu Akbar, go to the bowing position. While you're in the bowing position, you're going to say Subhanallah 2 or 3 times. Again, 3 times is recommended. Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. There's a different phrase that is said when standing from the bowing position. You do not need to learn that now. You're not going to learn that now. You, as the new Muslim, only need to say Allahu Akbar when you stand up. Say Allahu Akbar when you stand up. As in every other position that begins to move, you say Allahu Akbar. So say Allahu Akbar until we get to the next stage and you can learn the proper phrase that is said when you actually stand up. So you say Allahu Akbar and stand up. Return to standing. Then you say Allahu Akbar again and go to the prostration part. While in the prostration, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Then you sit back. You say Allahu Akbar and sit back and say Subhanallah 1 time, 3 times. Then you return second prostration. And you go back down again. And you say Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Then you say Allahu Akbar, sit back for a moment. That completes the first raka'at. You say Allahu Akbar, stand up, and begin number 2. And then you repeat that cycle. Okay? Those 3 phrases, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. And in the end, when you reach the last raka'at of the prayer, turn your face to the right, Assalamu alaikum, and to the left, Assalamu alaikum. When you pray in the congregation, you hear the brothers or the sisters say a little bit more. They say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah on both sides. But in the beginning, if you just get Assalamu alaikum on both sides, that's sufficient for you, inshallah ta'ala. Alright, this got to be a little bit longer, but inshallah beneficial. Jazakallah khair, and keep going. Remember, establish the prayer and pray in congregation is essential as much as you can. Assalamu alaikum.